We are live, people. We are live. My name is Alam. Welcome to another In Motion Football live stream. Today we have a watch along for Ravens Bengals, and we have a bunch of football this weekend to talk about. Finishing off with my Eagles taking on the Chiefs. I am an Eagles fan, but we're repping Lamar today because they're wearing the exact jersey that I have. As a person that loves football, need a Lamar jersey. That's very necessary. So whenever they rock the black uniforms, you can catch me in this Lamar jersey. I will get a scoreboard up for people to follow along who watch this on replay. Shout out to everybody watching live right now. Shout out to everybody that's going to catch this on replay after the fact. Um, yeah, if you appreciate the content and what we're doing here, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Two very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel, and that's what I'm trying to do here, people. I'm trying to grow this to as big as I can possibly get it. But yeah, with that said, joining this game, roughly 11 minutes into it, life gets in the way, so I wasn't able to be here from the very beginning. But from what I saw, I feel like both offenses had like clearly very good scripts to start the game. Both offenses went right down the field. Uh, Obviously, the Bengals couldn't put it in the end zone, but both offenses went right down the field. It just so happened that Baltimore got to 7 points, but both defenses began to really settle in, and I think the defensive lines are starting to take over a little bit. Both teams have very respectable front sevens. Um, Two defensive coordinators that have been, doing their job at a high level for a little bit now. So while we have two very talented quarterbacks, two MVP caliber quarterbacks on the field, the defenses are indeed going to play a big role in this game, and I think that's what you've seen ever since the first two drives of the game. So we will watch and we will see how this game evolves. But I am excited with what I've seen so far because you've got a good taste of all the different things these two teams have to offer. We could at some point see a defensive showdown. We could at some point see fireworks. Both teams, through very different ways, have the ability to get a ground game going if they so choose to. Both teams have quarterbacks that make plays, superstar quarterbacks. Both teams have defenses that can also take over games, specifically defensive lines. So we love this matchup for that reason. Obviously, I'm seeing here that Lamar is a little bit banged up right now, but it didn't look like anything too serious. He's a tough guy. He'll play through it, I'm sure. But yeah, crucial stop there for the Bengals. But like I said, like NFL teams tend to start the game with a bunch of play calls that are scripted. The offensive coordinators have already worked out like maybe 15 or so plays they're going to call. So you see both the team's first drives have a high level of success with those scripted plays. But once we go off script and we're actually in the battle, in the line of fire, both defenses have taken over. Lamar Jackson heads into the medical tent. Damn. Though, okay, if you're watching this right now and you're live and you got a better angle, like you caught what happened. I'm not even sure exactly what happened. I just saw him go to the ground and stay down for a little bit. Let me get a hold of Twitter to see what they're saying about this Lamar injury. Ankle trapped in the sideline. Oh no. We saw this game start out with Mark Andrews obviously getting hurt. It would suck to have this game in the first quarter lose Lamar and Mark Andrews. That would be so sad. Well, Bengals start the drive. We're going to keep an eye on that injury. Obviously, the Mark Andrews injury, it looked bad. Even if you just saw how he was reacting and how Lamar was reacting, that looked bad. But with the Lamar injury, I didn't quite exactly see what happened. And I know obviously he ended up going to the bench. Now he's in the tent, but I don't know. Like I said, anybody that's watching this live right now, if you got a better angle of the Lamar injury and you actually saw what happened to his ankle, let me know if it's as bad as or if it's bad at all. Yeah, I'm looking at the Twitter timeline. I'm not really seeing I'm not seeing like a lot of like concern necessarily, just people reporting that he's in the tent. But yep, 2nd and 10 for the Bengals. Handoff to Mixon up the middle. Mixon gets a good amount of space. Got tripped up a little bit. But had it not been for him getting tripped up, he had some room to run there. He could have maybe gone to the house there on that play. That wasn't even a draw on 2nd and 10. That was just a hand up right up the middle. Yeah, I think Cincinnati, every chance they get, as they show Tyler Huntley warming up. Damn. But yeah, every chance Cincinnati gets, they should want to protect Burrow. Based on the amount of pressures they gave up last week, they should not, against this front, be putting in Burrow in harm's way as much as possible. It should be leaning the other way, especially if the game is close and contested, right? If Baltimore runs the scoreboard up, it is what it is. You got to throw the ball. But now with Lamar potentially missing time, it's a one possession game. Like, it would be smart to keep Burrow as clean as possible. So we got 1st and 10 after a little touch pass to Jamar Chase. Gets a first down. Bengals at the edge of field goal range. Well within field goal range, realistically. It's like a 52-yard kick from here. 1st and 10. Burrow. Ooh, quick drop. Got the ball in shotgun. Damn near took half a step backwards. Looked like he wanted to throw it immediately, but it looked like whatever read he was looking at wasn't there, and he just had no time to get to his second guy. Damn near the whole Ravens defensive front won their reps there. I lied. Only 2 of them did. But the 2 guys up the middle won their reps. And people, that's how you end drives. 2nd and 17, and not an advantageous position to be in. That looked off. That snap looked off. I don't know exactly what happened there, but that snap looked off. I thought false start happened, but a throw down the sideline leads to nothing. And we're in 3rd and 17. If you're the Bengals, you got to think here. A 3rd and 17, you're probably in a range where it's like a 58, 59-yard kick. Don't stress too tough about getting this 17. Get within, a much better, get within territory of being able to kick a much easier field goal and see what you can do on defense. Obviously, it looks like Huntley will be entering the game. They just panned to the sidelines, and he seems to be giving the guys a bit of a pep talk. Again, I hate that Lamar might be missing time. Yeah, check down to sample here, just getting a handful of yards. They'll be kicking it from like 53 here. But Lamar is walking out of the tent into the locker room, but he is walking. But it's weird. So he has his helmet on. He's walking. He just stopped and turned around. Okay, he's not walking to the locker room. He's just pacing back and forth. And now he's running. Okay, let's go. Lamar back. Lamar's back. Love to see that, man. Love to see that. Didn't even have to see a snap of Huntley, bro. It's a beautiful thing. End of the first quarter, 7-3. Bengals will be kicking a field goal to start the second quarter. And we will go from there. Probably is going to be a 1-point game. Lamar Jackson appears to be back in the game. And we'll actually get the matchup we want to get, because I was thinking about it like this. It's happened so many times this year where the matchup, even last year, like when the big matchup that everyone's looking forward to in the build-up, we don't actually end up getting that match. Whether it's because somebody's hurt before the game, somebody gets hurt during the game, or the game just sucks, right? So I just really want one of these matchups to live up to what they are. That's really what I'd love to see. And like, yeah, you watch the first 2 drives of this game and it's looking like it's going to be that. And then Lamar goes down for a little bit and it's like, fuck, like we want to see one of these primetime matchups that gets built up to be something above and beyond to actually result in a game that lives up to the hype. But yeah, like I said, this game very interesting. Offenses, first two drives look like they're going, look like it's going to be a back and forth game in terms of points and scoring, and then bang, the defenses adjust and they get right to it. Defenses have held their own. We'll see if the Bengals can make this field goal to start the second, but if they miss it, then that'll be the defense is standing strong for every single drive since the first two drives of the game. I know Mark Andrews has already been ruled out. It looks like Lamar will be entering the game to start this whenever the Ravens get the ball back. So yeah, we will hope that Mark Andrews isn't too hurt, but yeah, at the very minimum, we got Lamar, we got Zay Flowers. I want to see a back and forth game of scoring, man. We deserve it. We deserve it as a football community. But yeah, we have obviously this game to talk about while it's happening. During halftime, I'll be talking about the games on Sunday. Just a quick little preview of the matchups. A lot of them I won't have a whole lot to say about. There's some mediocre slash trash games on Sunday, but there are some to be excited about. And then at the end, Monday Night Football, my Eagles take on the Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. I won't say it's an opportunity to get back because the get back would happen in a Super Bowl, but an opportunity to play one of the best teams in football and really figure out where you're at. 53-yard field goal attempt from Evan McPherson. Lamar is talking to Huntley. Lamar is on the bench. Lamar looks ready to play football, people. McPherson steps into the kick, and he pushed it. He pushed it. So the defenses stand tall. McPherson misses from 53. It's 7-3 right now. I'm just gonna real quick plug this charger in. But yeah, both teams get the ball moving on their first drives, get a score, and then the defenses have done their thing ever since. So the Ravens obviously are going to start this drive with very good field positioning. It'll be interesting to see how things change now from a play calling standpoint or just an offensive approach standpoint as a whole, with Lamar being banged up and Mark Andrews not being in the game. I don't necessarily know what the plan is without Mark Andrews. Because one, I know they play without Mark Andrews like here and there. He's not a player that plays every game. But yeah, I don't necessarily watch a whole ton of Baltimore when Mark Andrews isn't playing. So I don't know what their plan is to replace him, but I know Likely is a very different kind of tight end. Whoa, that's a pretty big gap in the stat they're showing about his touchdowns with and without Mark Andrews. That's a very big gap in like passes thrown, though. That's not like an even amount that you're comparing, but it is what it is. Hand off to Keaton Mitchell. Patient running, but nothing develops. Keaton Mitchell. The small amount of snaps I've seen of him, he looks decent. I tried to claim him in my dynasty league. Somebody put 100 fab on him. I don't know. So they just showed replays of the two hits, right? Or the two Ravens getting hurt. Andrews, you can see his ankle get fucked up. Like, you know what happened. With Lamar, I was looking at his ankle this time as well, and I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see exactly what happened. Like, yeah, a guy kind of fell on his ankle, but his ankle wasn't planted. So I don't know. Was it just was it contact on the ankle? Because if that's the case, I guess like you just have to worry about, what are they calling here? Pass interference on the defense? And just like that, the Ravens across midfield. Shout out to my guy, Jared Brown, our resident Cardinals fan and Diamondbacks fan. Checking in from maybe Arizona, maybe not. I don't know where you live. But yeah, we have a pretty great football matchup. A different kind of birds, not the Cardinals, but Ravens Bengals is sure to be fun. But yeah, let me know, Jared, if you have any thoughts about the matchup with the Texans this Sunday. Lamar takes a shot to Bateman, and it's there, but that is a hell of a play by 29. That's a hell of a play by 29. That DB knew exactly where the ball was, running stride for stride with the receiver, times his swap perfectly, makes great contact. That's a phenomenal play by Cam Taylor Britt. Turns his head. That's textbook. That's textbook right there. Making a play on the ball, not contacting a receiver, turning your head. That's phenomenal stuff right there. I'm kind of nervous facing CJ Stroud. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the game while we have the game going on. And during halftime, I'm going to talk about the games on Sunday. What I was going to say, though, is that, quietly, Cardinals-Texans is a solid matchup. I don't think people are going to look at that as, a game to watch necessarily. But the thing about the Cardinals is, I don't think the Cardinals have a ton of talent, but they're playing hard. They're playing for their coaches. I think their coaches are doing a decent job, and Kyler is back. So, not just a pushover of a team anymore, I don't think. And Texans, obviously a team on the rise, a team that's doing really, really well. So I just look at it it'll be fun to see Stroud versus Kyler. That back and forth is going to be something that I look forward to watching. And yeah, but I don't think people are looking at that oh, that's a matchup to keep an eye out for. Quietly, I think so that game and Vikings-Broncos, I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, these don't look like the big names that you typically look for on the schedule, but those will probably be solid games for the viewer. After the pass interference call, Ravens get 2 yards on 3 downs and are now in 4th and 8. On 9 dropbacks, Lamar has gotten a decent amount of pressure, and the Ravens are now punting. So the defensive battle that's ensued since both teams' first possession continues to happen. Again, these teams scored all their points in the first 2 drives of the game, both the teams' offensive possessions, and the defenses have taken over since that point. Like Monday Night Football, yeah. So Monday Night, that's the one where just even the most casual viewer understands that that's the one to watch, right? Super Bowl rematch, 2 MVP candidates from last year at quarterback. Obviously, me being an Eagles fan, I'm very excited for that. I'll be doing a stream during that game as well. But yeah, just again, there's some other sneaky matchups. Fugazi Russell Wilson comeback season. This is the thing, right? You get the Fugazi Russell Wilson comeback season against Josh Dobbs, the most random quarterback ever. We got 1st and 10 for the Bengals, and I also see we got rated. So I'm going to get to both those things in a second after the play. All right, so first of all, shout out to everybody that's here from Sarcasm City. I'm pretty sure that's how we got the spike in viewership already. 27 people watching. Much appreciation. There's a lot of I definitely appreciate you guys is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you guys are fans of Sarcasm City, you might be familiar with who I am. I'm on that platform sometimes talking various sports. If you want to support what we're doing at Sarcasm City, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are if you love football, this would be a great place to hang out. If you aren't a fan of football but would like to get into it because you're from the UK or you're from Europe in general, yeah, this would be a good place to start. You can definitely hang out on these live streams, ask any questions you might have. We can talk you through what's going on. If you have zero interest at all in football whatsoever, just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and go enjoy the rest of your night. That's all I ask. So, yeah, shout out to Floss as always at Sarcasm City. Shout out to Sarcasm City for the raid. And then, yeah, Josh Dobbs, most random quarterback ever, right? So indeed, he's been good for the Vikings. He's been exactly what they needed. And I actually think that offense is more interesting with a running quarterback. Well, that's a pretty obvious thing to say. But yeah, we've only seen that offensive coordinator and those weapons play with Kirk Cousins, right? Now you look at Josh Dobbs and I don't still think anyone looks at Josh Dobbs as a premier quarterback or anything, but he's a runner who's a solid quarterback. And yeah, I just think it's interesting to see what that play caller can do with him. And he hasn't even had Jefferson yet. So I think if anything, we might be seeing in front of our eyes the Vikings' direction for the future. Because if things look decent with Dobbs, you can bet all your possessions on the fact that the Vikings' next quarterback of the future will be a mobile quarterback. But yeah, Josh Dobbs, most random quarterback. This guy was an aerospace engineer in college, right? A lot of these college athletes, They go get random degrees that aren't even real things. They don't go to school. They do online everything. Um, yeah, like their college experience is not about school. It's about football. Josh Dobbs was an aerospace engineer while playing college football. That is crazy, right? So you figure this guy's a smart guy. He's going to know what he's doing. And that's a pretty big part of playing the quarterback position. But then the beginning of his career is plagued with just doing nothing, bouncing around, not really getting an opportunity. Whenever he does touch a field, not looking good. Then he joins the Titans basically when they need just any quarterback because Malik Willis isn't ready. I don't think he did like show much of anything at all as a Titan, but I think then the Browns signed him to be a backup. The Browns deemed that a rookie, Dorian Thompson Robinson, is better than him. Then he goes to the Cardinals, has to play on short notice again. Looks good, like solid. Then the Cardinals for like realistically, they probably did him a favor because they knew Kyler was back. But then the Cardinals get rid of him. He has to play for another team on short notice and looks solid again. Like one of the more random just quarterback careers we've seen thus far. But I love that for him. And like he's got some Ryan Fitzpatrick, just like guy will just step onto a football field and play football. Going he has some, some Fitzpatrick in him. Obviously a very different quarterback, but I get that vibe of just a guy that's going to play for a lot of teams, is going to play more football than you expect, is probably going to have his fair share of bad moments, but his fair share of good ones too. So the Bengals have crossed midfield. I don't know if they've actually ran the ball a whole lot, but it seems like whenever they do, Mixon does take advantage of the space in front of him. Let me see what the stats are looking like. 6 for 41. 6 rushes for 41 yards. The guy's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. That passes the eye. That checks out based on what I saw. It's surprising because this was the case against the Niners too. The Bengals had a really easy time running the ball. They really don't run the ball a lot for a team that seems to have the success that they do. Just whenever I watch. Just as I say that, a delayed game for Cincinnati puts them in a second and longer than it should be. Second and 9 now. Clock runs. Ravens will choke in the playoffs. Hey, what's good, Leon? Ravens will choke in the playoffs. I think they're such a matchup dependent team. That's my thing with the Ravens. Like, I think they're a good matchup for your Miamis and your Buffaloes. I think Kansas City probably is able to navigate a game against Baltimore. I think the Ravens have a good like history with Cincinnati. But yeah, we'll see. I also think the thing with the Ravens is they have the potential to evolve as a team. Like when offense is so, not that they're reliant on Zay Flowers, but when he's as big of a part of your offense as he is, in that he's like your number one receiver, and he's a young player that is probably going to just continue to get better. Like him getting better does have the potential to change your offense as the season goes. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I do think that's one of the things that would make me feel like really good about Baltimore in the playoffs is if Zay Flowers really comes into his own. Don't know if that's going to happen though, but yeah, like we'll see what happens with Mark Andrews. If that's a major injury, that's really rough because like that's Lamar's guy. Mixon getting more yards again. This guy Mixon just very, very casual time getting these yards. But yeah. What's it called? Leon, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you think about what Gronk said? Because I'm surprised Gronk would say that. I'm not surprised that it's the case, but I'm surprised Gronk would say that because, like, you're kind of just putting the team and Mac Jones in an awkward position now. Not that he cares, and honestly, like, maybe he shouldn't care. I just think it was kind of a weird thing to do. I don't know. The Jags are the team to watch in the AFC for me. So you know what it is with the Jags? I feel like they figured out Travis Etienne this year, and I think that's the thing that makes me feel pretty good about who they are as a team. I think like I'm a little bit underwhelmed with Trevor Lawrence in terms of the step that he's taken as a player, and so I'm personally not underwhelmed with Ridley, but I'm sure a lot of people are. But if you watch the season previews on this channel, when I talked about the Jaguars, my concern with them is that like, well, I was kind of wrong, but kind of right. So my concern was I didn't think they did enough to get better. I think the only like major addition they made was Ridley. So they didn't do like they got better within the same tier that they were last year, which was like they have a puncher's chance against anybody in the AFC. I still think they're in that same tier, but I thought they're still in the same tier, but they're a little bit better. My thing is like I was right about the fact that like Ridley isn't enough to put you in a whole new tier. And like I stand by that. But I think it turns out that ETN might be. Whoa. Something happened with my audio. Is my audio still good for you guys? Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think if you have an elite running back and a guy that is gonna like be able to give you consistently 100 yards and consistently be a guy that finds the end zone, that's somebody that might put you in a difference here. And if you put the Jaguars passing offense in a situation where like they're playing off the run, where the run is opening up opportunities for them, because I don't think that was the case last year. I think ETN, if anything, was feeding off the passing game, not the other way around. Burrow, check down to Mixon, touchdown. So Cincinnati finally kind of figures out they can lean on Mixon, and all of a sudden they go right down the field. I feel good about pointing that out. Because that was the case. It felt early in this game like whenever Mixon, he doesn't get the ball much, but whenever Mixon gets the ball, he gets yards. Now all of a sudden this was the Mixon drive. Don't know what Gronk said. Mute all super talks to the mo. Okay, that makes sense. Nah, so Gronk basically just said that the Patriots don't like the Patriots players, the locker room, they don't respect Mac Jones. Again, which is like I think not like. Of course, that's the case. I'm not surprised, but it's just a weird position to put the team in. It feels like that's like all hell is breaking loose in New England with like the Belichick stuff and the quarterback stuff, and it's a weird place that franchise is in. Be a hard reset coming this offseason. What the hell happened to Burrow? Burrow clutching his hand like something got fucked up as soon as he released that ball. Damn, we got Burrow and Lamar getting knocks in this game. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, 10-7, Bengals up. Ravens need a response. I think the Bengals start the second half with the ball. So this is when I get into the possession analytics. Yeah, there's 5 minutes left in this game. So this is it for Baltimore. Because Baltimore, you either put together a 5-minute drive or Cincinnati has back-to-back drives, right? So if you, let's say, run off 2 minutes off the clock and punt, now Cincinnati is up 3 with 2 back-to-back drives. That's a bad spot to be in. So you have to, realistically, you have to score. Or like you very much should score. But if anything, you need to also run clock. If you're going to hand the ball back to Cincinnati, it needs to be when there's like next to no time. So it's the Ravens, I think, are going to have to carefully manage the end of the half here. Again, that's the thing I look at a lot because if you've noticed, right, I think this happened a lot in the last 5 years. Teams want the ball to start the second half more than they want the ball to start the game. That's a thing. I think it always used to be just a customary thing. If you win the coin toss, you want the ball. But nowadays, teams will happily defer and take the ball at the start of the second half. And it's for this kind of a reason because, yeah, of course, the starting of a game is important, right? But the starting of the game is also just like when the teams settle into what's going on. Once the teams settle in, like that middle part of the game is like that's a really crucial time, and that's a real opportunity to actually grab hold of a game. So yeah, teams being able to get that first possession of the second half to be able to play it like this, to where they could have the last possession of the first possession of the second. You have back-to-back drives in the middle of the game when you're, again, like you've settled in. It's not the beginning of the game where people are still kind of like playing through nerves. Yeah, it's a hell of an opportunity. So again, Ravens have to manage that there, because the Bengals start the second half with the ball. When legends still share their team, it's always awkward. 100%. It's easier to make comebacks in this era of football. Yeah. Oh, that's why. I just saw Clowney kind of land on Burrow's hand. Yeah, but 100% it's easier to make comebacks because the whole game is slanted towards the offense. The rules are slanted towards the offense. You're not really actually meant to play defense necessarily. Your best defense is actually a running game. If you want to put a football game to rest, it's harder to do in this era of football by just like playing lights out defense. The rules aren't kind of built for that to happen. You ice games by running the shit out of the ball, having 8-9 minute drives. So last year you saw it a lot with the Eagles. You've seen it a couple times this year, but like last year the Eagles were like very, very good for either towards the end of the third quarter or the fourth quarter, putting together an 8-minute drive, going and getting a touchdown. And that was just like when that drive happened, the game was over. Because we would always probably be up like 3 to 10 points. And then we put a 7 to 8 minute drive together to get 7 more. It's game over. Oh, shit, Zay Flowers. Wait, is this? No, there's a flag on the play. No, I hate it. Please don't be a thing. This was the Zay Flowers moment. This is the moment anybody who has stocks in Zay Flowers, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Don't bring this back. Don't. Now, what the hell is this? Holding, offense, damn. That is a swing. That is a swing. From a touchdown to 1st and 20, that is a swing. And I have Zay Flowers starting in fantasy right now. I hate it here, man. Oh, it's on Odell. Odell, you got to block. That's an awful flag. That is a terrible flag. Oh no. Did you just see that with Burrow? As he's throwing the ball slipped out of his hands. He turns to his trainers. He's like, nah. And then he's walking off into the locker room. And he just yelled as he walks off. Damn, both quarterbacks got banged up in this matchup. Man, the NFL's luck with these big matchups is crazy. I pray to God nothing happens to Jalen Hurts or AJ Brown on Monday, man. Because it feels like whenever these big matchups happen, something happens to just mess the matchup up. Aaron Rodgers opening night, or like the things will get messed up in advance. So like all the Jets primetime games are just stupid, right? The Chargers, the Raiders, all of them, the matchups against both those teams, all of them were stupid. Ruined by one moment on Monday night. Obviously, the Bills Bengals last year in primetime. Yeah, they're replaying that moment of the ball slipping out of his hands. That's tough. It's mostly Thursday Night Football. I mean, yeah, hopefully Monday Night Football is smooth sailing, man. Like, I don't know what Pats fans or ownership expect when they dodge 20 years of back payment of being bad. What do you mean by 20 years of back payment of being bad? Like, I don't disagree. I just actually don't know exactly what you mean when you say that. But yeah, like, I don't necessarily know, like, I don't know what the Pats are stressed about. Because my thing is you're gonna have an opportunity to draft a pretty good prospect. Now they might pan out or they might not, but that's really not a bad situation to be in as a franchise. Like this is just normal franchise things. This happens. Like teams are at in a situation where they need to just like start fresh. Like look at the Eagles with forget Andy Reid, but let's look at Doug Peterson, right? Super Bowl winning coach, won one Super Bowl, right? Whoa, took away my finger. Crazy. Won one Super Bowl, right? Nothing like Belichick's what six that he won. Guy won one Super Bowl, but it got stale. Like things just stopped working. People stop seeing eye to eye. The thing about NFL teams is that it's really not often the case where actually I'm going to rephrase that. It's impossible for these to be one man shows because even if let's say you're a Bill Belichick and you are the coach and the GM and you just have the most say of anybody or you have the most say of anybody in that franchise and more say than anybody in any other franchise. You're not a one-man show because whatever your idea is, your vision is, your plan is, you need the offensive coordinator to execute it. You need the special teams guy to execute it. You need some scouts to like do the job. You need the whole system to work. It's a bunch of people and you together. Every NFL team is an organization, and for the organization to work, a bunch of people need to see eye to eye, and a bunch of people need to be good at their jobs, and it all has to work and make sense together. This isn't complicated stuff. This is the case in every sport, but it's especially the case in football just because of how big the numbers are in football. There's a lot of players on teams. There's a lot of different positions. The fact that that's the case means there's a lot of different kinds of personnel people and scouts and things of that nature. So like just a lot of things have to fall into place. So if you're in a situation where things just get stale, people stop seeing eye to eye and the system stops working, like being in a position where you have to just like reset is not a bad thing. And again, look what happened with the Eagles. We needed a reset. We did a reset. We got the evaluation right with the coach and the rest is history. The Patriots are just in that spot. It happens all the time. Like when you're a good franchise, you figure out a way to deal with these things and you navigate the situation correctly and move forward. We're going to see how good the Patriots organization is without Brady and Belichick. They're showing Burrow had a brace thing on his wrist before the game. Then he got his wrist like landed on or his hand landed on and now he's struggling. Oh, that's probably the end of the game for him then. I doubt he's going to play through that if he had something going into the game and it got aggravated. So we're going to see their bum ass back up. And potentially, if they lose this game, they could be 5-5 and need that backup to play for a little bit. Let me see who their next game is against. Oh, Steelers. Oh my God. You play the Steelers with a backup quarterback, you're losing. You're losing. Jaguars. Damn, if they have to play those two games with a backup, they're losing both 5-7. Odell makes a catch, runs into space. Ravens get to the edge of Justin Tucker field goal range. 1st and 10. It's not me who's stressing people acting like because Bill could roll down his case because they expect him to turn water into wine. Yeah, I get it. Also, you have to realize how much of your fan base probably has never experienced anything like this in their life, right? Because a lot of older Patriots fans probably aren't the ones online who've actually experienced this before. And also, like, there wouldn't be that many of them anyways outside of the New England, Boston area. Oh, shit, Lamar ran into his own man. He ran into his own guard. That's tough. I feel like, yeah, that's tough. He had, if he just could, like, keep his momentum going, he had space. He had to obviously slow up because of that offensive lineman and the guys in the area could had an opportunity to catch him. But that's tough there. That's real tough. Oh, shit. OBJ was open. Oh, shit. It was earlier in the route. Towards the end of the route, he basically runs right to the safety. But early in the route, that was there. But also, like, if that's not the read on the play, then, like, Lamar is... Well, I mean, sometimes you expect your quarterbacks to make those pre-play reads, but Yeah, that's tough. OBJ was there. They just keep showing Burrow's hand. What the hell am I supposed to be looking at? Is it what like I really don't know why they showed me his hand there. That's kind of wild. I did not appreciate that. 3rd and 6. Ravens, it would be a 55-yarder from here. Oh, wow, what a play. Nah, this is jokes. Nah. Oh my god, another flag. Oh my god, Aguilar hit the front flip too. Bro. This is jokes. Nah, what is this flag? It looks like it's against Cincinnati. Bro, shout out Nelson Aguilar, Eagles Super Bowl winner. This is too funny. Let's hear it. Illegal use of hands to the face on the defense. That penalty is declined, big man. A pass intended for Odell gets tipped right into Nelson Aguilar's hands, who takes the ball to the house. So that's the funny thing about Nelson Aguilar, right? My whole thing with him is like, aside from the act of catching a football, kind of not he's a very serviceable player. The problem is like guy struggles to catch a football as a guy who like he plays the position where you catch the football. But I mean, if you're gonna have a guy tip the ball and take all the sting off the pass and let him catch that soft ass pass, Aguilar might be elite, man. He might be an elite tipped ball receiver. But yeah, 14-10, and Burrow might not play. This game is looking spooky for Cincinnati. Shout out to the 12 people watching live right now. You guys are very much appreciated. If you appreciate the content that we're doing here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Two very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. And I want to do this as much as possible. So if we can get this channel to grow big, man, I could do this all day. But yeah, Baltimore is in a very good spot. This has been a very much a game of ebbs and flows because Baltimore starts out the game, go right down the field. It looks and feels great for Baltimore, right? Skip to maybe about 10 minutes of football later. Lamar goes into the medical tent, and the Bengals pretty soon after that score a touchdown. So now it looks like basically like, oh shit, the Bengals might be in a great position now. And now the game has swung the other way because now Burrow is in the locker room. Browning, I think, is the Bengals backup. He's looking to step onto a football field, and the Ravens have taken the lead back. So back and forth football game. That part of the game has been good. Unfortunately, we have to watch Jake Browning for 32 minutes of football probably. But this is what happens with the NFL's Thursday night football matchups. If you started a Cincinnati Bengals receiver in fantasy football, I feel bad for you. I feel very bad for you. That is not good. All right. I don't know nothing about this Browning guy, so I'm about to learn. He looks kind of short. I don't know if he is, though, but he looks kind of short. Fakes the toss, rolls left, turns around. Good ball to Trenton Irwin. Random little dynamic. I hear about this a lot, but a lot of the times backup quarterbacks are used to practicing with the backup receivers. So that's actually who they have the chemistry with. So take Jake Browning in this case, right? This guy is probably sitting around and watching Joe Burrow take the reps with your Jamar Chases, your T. Higgins, your Tyler Boyds, right? When he's on a football field, he's throwing to guys like Trenton Irwin. So those are the guys he has chemistry with. So I don't know if that's an intentional thing or if that's a complete just like happenstance kind of a thing. But yeah, first play, it's drawn up for Trenton Irwin, and he delivers a good ball to Trenton Irwin, hits him in stride, and a first down for Cincinnati. But backup quarterbacks, people, I think, in my opinion, when a backup quarterback is in the game, this is really when you see what offensive coordinators / play callers are built out of. This is really when like you like differentiate between the greats and just like normal guys. So like, for example, right, look at Sean McVay. Baker Mayfield in a football game, like 2 days after joining a team, go get a win against the Raiders. Like random quarterback in the game, but the offensive mind cooks up and finds a way to make it effective. Andy Reid, my whole life as an Eagles fan, random backup quarterbacks getting the job done, right? I've seen this guy go win a playoff game with Jeff Garcia, who basically he called out of retirement middle of the season when Donovan McNabb went out. I've seen Kevin Kolb get hurt on the opening day, and it's Michael Vick's team now, and we're going to make something out of this. It happened even with Michael Vick. Michael Vick goes down. Nick Foles steps to the plate. Doesn't have the same impact, but Nick Foles had a few good games as a rookie under Andy Reid. Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz goes down. We'll get the job done with Nick Foles. When the backup quarterbacks are in the game, that's really when you see who the great or who the elite offensive coordinators / play callers are. So we're about to learn about Zach Taylor right here. Not that I don't think anyone's actually putting him in the elite conversation whatsoever, but this is just, this is his moment to really show what he's about. I never experienced this before, but I understand NFL landscape for success, and I knew what I had growing up. I'll never experience again. Yeah, that's the correct perspective to have, right? Because like, if you're a Patriots fan, you gotta look at it like, look, the life of every sports fan is ups and downs, but my ups are damn near guaranteed to be higher than almost everybody else's ups. So like, fuck it, man. We got some downs now. Hopefully, we'll have some ups later at some point. But that's just like, that's how you have to look at it as a sports fan, and like. I guess I had enough fan experience by the time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, where I was just like, I have to savor this moment for what it is, because right now my team is in the Super Bowl with a chance to win with as little expectations as you can possibly have in this at this point, right? When you're a Super Bowl team, to have this few expectations, it puts you in a position where it's like, if I lose, this isn't even the worst thing, but the upside of winning when the expectations are that low, like that'll be like one of the happiest wins you could possibly experience. So I figured that before the game, I was like, look, I don't know if we're going to win. I don't know if we're going to lose, but I'm going to enjoy this for what it is. And I'm going to like make the absolute most of this moment. And they won. It was a great time. One of the happiest days of my life. Beating Brady and Belichick with a backup quarterback, man. Doug Peterson is a legend for that forever. But it looks like a penalty on Cincinnati. I lied. It's a penalty on Baltimore. Was that illegal hands to the face? That's tough. Handing a backup quarterback a random first down. Can't have it. Browning steps back. Basically just throws the ball away. It looked like his first read wasn't there. And I feel like he knows I'm going up against Baltimore. My offensive line isn't shit. So if my first read isn't there, I only have so much time. And it looks like basically he feels the pass rusher coming from the right. It's Roquan in this case. But Roquan. Mixon got smoked by Roquan. But yeah, he just got the ball out of his hands there. All right, 2nd and 10. You got a backup quarterback and an obvious passing down. Let's see what happens. They'll probably run it up the middle. They did this with Mixon before. I lied. They didn't. They set up a screen for Mixon, and the ball is passable. It's good enough. Mixon kind of juggles the catch, is able to bring down the ball. I thought he may have messed the play up by juggling the catch, but still manages to get about 5-6 yards. Now you're in a 3rd down situation where you can open the playbook up a little bit. Had the Ravens been able to keep this backup quarterback in 3rd and long, obviously that's a much better position to be in. But 3rd and roughly 4, no, I lied. 3rd and 3, yeah, you can do whatever. I would not be surprised if this play is like designed to be like a check down for a running back with a bunch of vertical routes to clear space out. That did not happen. Oh, bro, Trenton Irwin again. That did not happen at all. The running back was into block. The Bengals offensive line did a pretty decent job giving him a clean pocket. And once again, he hasn't targeted Jamar Chase yet, but he's thrown to Trenton Irwin twice. That's probably the guy he has chemistry with, and he has an understanding of how the guy runs his routes, where he likes the placement on the pass, and vice versa. Like the receiver may have a better understanding of Browning's passes and whatnot. So again, this is a quirky kind of a thing that I've picked up on, and I heard of players talk about at some point. But a backup quarterback probably is going to have chemistry with the random receivers on the team, not the starters, because that's not who they practice with. However, that being said, Trent Irwin is not a starter for a reason, and I think he messed that catch up there. I thought I saw the ball touch the ground, so this is probably coming back. This was a what? That was 3rd and 3, right? That's rough. That was a big down. Quarterback did his job. As a receiver, you just have to finish there. It is, it is what it is. That's tough. But yeah, shout out to everybody tapped in. 14 people watching live right now. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Two very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. For you guys who maybe aren't familiar with what I do here during these streams, we're going to talk about the game that's happening right now while it's happening, but then we're going to talk about the games on Sunday at halftime. So definitely stick around for that. We're going to be talking about every game at least for a little bit. Obviously, games like Packers, Chargers, I refuse to go into any detail about. But, I mean, there are some other games that I'm kind of interested in. So, you know, what was I going to say? You're like obviously Eagles Chiefs, right? That's the game of the week. But like quietly Cardinals Texans, I'm looking forward to, and quietly Vikings Broncos, I'm looking forward to. And now because of the drama in Buffalo, I'm also looking forward to the Bills game. Bears Lions. No, I lied. Oh, Giants Commanders can go to hell. Giants Commanders can go to hell. Why are they showing us that again? They shouldn't have to play that matchup twice. Yeah, so they're showing it's reverse. Well, that was before I saw it on TV. But that call is reversed. Is 4th and 3. So, people, what do you do on this 4th and 3? This is a 56-yard kick. Your kicker just missed from 53 already. It's 1:38 to go. The other team has 2 timeouts. You have a backup quarterback in though, so I don't know how many times you're going to be at this part of the field. I say I go for it because it's 4th and 3. And again, like there's just no guarantee you'll be at this part of the field a whole lot longer, or like a whole that many more times in this game. So I trust my defense because all things considered, my defense has put forward a good performance. They could probably hold the Bengals or hold the Ravens if you miss this, or like at least hold them to 3. Yeah, we go for it. So Browning in the shotgun, 2 targets split out to each side. Sends a guy into motion. He is probably just trying to bait them offside. They take a delay of game and punt the football. As Zach Taylor tells this guys, good job. So the Bengals will punt. They start the second half with the ball. I don't know what the update is on Burrow. I'm going to check the timeline to see what they're saying about that. Officially, it's a wrist injury for Burrow. So that's the part I missed because I feel like the contact when Clowney hit him was on the hand, but I guess that aggravated whatever's going on with the wrist. A right wrist injury. This guy's got a wrist injury on his throwing hand with Pittsburgh next week. Imagine having a wrist injury when your job is to throw a ball and then having TJ Watt chasing you around for 60 minutes of football. Not the whole 60, but you gotta play football with TJ Watt on the other side. Dog, if Burrow plays hurt against Pittsburgh, that's bad. That's bad for what's it called? That's bad for Cincinnati. And if Browning plays against whoever lines up across TJ Watt next week, long day. Long day. Lou Anarumo. This is the Bengals defensive coordinator. This is your moment. This is when your team needs this unit to pitch a shutout. You have next to no room for error. It's a lot to ask for, but you might only honestly have about 3 more points of that's probably what you can realistically give up and still be in a good spot for this game. You got to be like, if we can maybe only give up 3 points for the rest of this game, and then maybe we get a touchdown and we can go for 2 to try to steal it. But that's probably what this game is going to come down to. The Bengals defense needs to damn near pitch a shutout. So, Peter, he had a brace on his hand prior to the game, but didn't appear on the injury report. They were looking at this sneaky camera footage that looked grainy as hell. He got his hand kind of Clowney on a throw after he threw the ball. He's going to the ground. Clowney hit his hand with his own hand. It wasn't like he stepped on his hand or something. They're calling it a wrist injury, but after that play where Clowney kind of landed on his hand, they showed him throwing a football on the sidelines, and basically the ball was slipping out of his hands. Don't they have to report stuff though? Can't they get fined for that? So there's gray area there because they only have to report stuff that impacts practices one way or another, which is a little bit strange. Because for example, Jalen Hurts wasn't on the injury report with a knee issue for 2 weeks. Actually, for the entirety of the knee issue, and he's wearing a knee brace. But it doesn't impact practice, so they're not reporting it, and he's not getting fined. But yeah, Joe Burrow had some shit going on with his wrist. He stepped into the game today, looked okay until one play when Clowney landed on his hand, and ever since they showed a bunch of clips of him trying to throw a football, and you can tell he can't grip the ball. So it's he's going through the throwing motion, then at the end of the throwing motion, the ball's just slipping right out of his hands. They're calling it a wrist injury officially. He went back to the locker room. This Browning backup has been playing ever since. But bro, it's been an emotional roller coaster, even as a neutral, from seeing Andrews go down and then Lamar go down, and the moments where guys are getting hurt are big moments in the game too. Ravens scored a touchdown around the time Andrews got hurt. Bengals scored a touchdown around the time Lamar was in the blue tent. Ravens scored a touchdown around the time that Burrow was walking back to the locker room. These big swings in this game just keep happening. But yeah, we're repping Lamar today. That's who we came to see. We'll see what happens with Burrow. But again, I went through the schedule. They got the Steelers next week, and they got the Jaguars after that. So if Jake Browning has to play, that's a cool 5-7 for the Bengals. It's a cool 5-7. Trinidad just got a red card. Is that a qualifying tournament or a friendly? Also, do you have a bet on the game? Because Peter, you're definitely liable to have a bet on that kind of a game. Also, was it a red? I need the details. It's a Nations League quarterfinal. Oh, that's dope. Oh, it's a high stakes game then, relative to the country. I'll explain when I hop on a bet on the first half drive. How did I know to ask? How did I know that just I may as well ask? But yeah, Bengals around midfield. 3 timeouts left. 1 minute to go. The Ravens in a very good spot for this game. It was a double yellow, but a ridiculous decision to even dive in there. Damn. Damn. Got to be careful when you're on that yellow. Can't be reckless. High stakes football going on. But another place where high stakes football is going on. This division has the Ravens at the top at 7-3, the Bengals at the bottom of the division in fourth place at 5-4, and two teams playing each other 6-3 in the second and third spots in the division. A loss here for the Bengals is really bad. I mean, a loss for the Ravens would suck. I mean, losing 2 in a row for either of these teams would be terrible. But if you look at the Bengals, dropping to 5-5 with 2 tough games ahead of you, with potentially your backup quarterback having to play, it's all bad right now for Cincinnati. He slid on a guy from goal with 6 teammates behind the ball. Damn. That's reckless energy. That's reckless energy. That oh shit, this is another holding call on Baltimore. Is this one actually holding though? I'll be real, that's another shit call. That's 2 holding penalties on Baltimore that just I haven't agreed with. Peter, have you caught much of this game? Because the last Ravens drive was pretty wild. A lot happened. It all worked out in the end, but the process was crazy. Lamar drops back, looks for Zay Flowers. That is going to be a big call. Zay Flowers points to the DB after the play. And I look frozen. That be happening with StreamYard, but I'm sure my audio is still good. Nah, I'm patriotic. Is Joe Burrow out for the game? Bro, I think so. I think Joe Burrow's out for this game. I have a hard time imagining the fact that he has a wrist injury on his throwing arm, that he will be back. All right, so the Ravens are suddenly in field goal range. They have 3 timeouts. Fuck it, run the ball. Just to do it. Bengals blitz, quick out to OBJ. OBJ makes a guy miss that. Bro, who is that? Because they just got done dirty by an old man right there. So I'll get to that next Jared comment at halftime, because we have compelling football going on right now. That's not always the case, but it is right now. Damn, Cam Taylor-Britt made a hell of a play as a DB on a go route before. This is dog shit tackling from him right here. Lamar rolls right and casually takes about 3 yards before going out of bounds. So the Ravens have 34 seconds left on the clock. That around the 14. They have all 3 of their timeouts. They should definitely run the ball here. Just make Cincinnati know they have to defend it, especially in the red zone. The windows are a lot tighter here. Yeah, you need that. You need to be a threat in every way possible. You have your 3 timeouts for a reason like this. Keep them honest. Run the ball. That would have been a good play to do it against, I think. Lamar takes a shot to the corner of the end zone, evidently kind of just throws it out of bounds. It looked like a corner play to OBJ, but it wasn't really there, and the ball was basically out of bounds. Oh, no, I know his ankle got rolled up on, but bro, hand it to a running back. 2nd and 8 would have been the play. 3rd and 8, obviously, you got to throw. But 28 seconds to go. In this situation, the Ravens would have a max of 6 plays that they would run. And they won't need 6 plays because they find Rashad Bateman to score in 1 play. So this is an 11-point game now with the Bengals back up. This game is cooked. This is over. Cam Taylor-Britt is limping now too. Yeah, the Bengals season may have just imploded in one half of football. What I'll say about the Ravens offense though is that they obviously had an amazing first drive. The Bengals defense kind of seemed to get a hold of things for about 2 drives after that. The first drive when Lamar checked in after having his ankle rolled up on, obviously didn't do much. But since then, these last 2 Ravens drives, they've made it look easy. They had a 60-yard touchdown called back on a bullshit holding call. Doesn't phase them at all. They go and score a touchdown a couple of plays after that. And then on this drive, right? When did they have they got the ball with about 140 at their own side of the field, deep in their own territory. They go down the field without having to use a timeout. Obviously the interference call with Zay Flowers helps, but Ravens made a lot of plays here. OBJ made a hell of a play along the sideline. Bateman here gets wide open in the end zone. Like I just talked about how the windows get a lot tighter in the red zone. That was not at all. That window was wide ass open. Easy throw for Lamar. He makes it happen. Yeah, it's got to be rough to be a Bengals fan right now. Our keeper is a god. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's that's what you need. That's what you need in a tournament setting as one of the smaller countries. You need a godlike keeper. Tucker kickoff ends up being a touchback. All right, so we'll get to this now. Am I nervous for your Eagles on Monday night? I'm not nervous because we have a record that is conducive to dropping a game. And if you're going to drop a game, it may as well be an AFC opponent, right? So the idea of losing isn't like that big of a deal to me, right? I'm more excited for the opportunity because I genuinely feel like we can play with Kansas City. And I think that like for everything we have to deal with when we play them, they have to deal with a whole bunch of shit playing against us too. Obviously, I think the team is gonna want the win. Juju isn't on that team anymore, but a bunch of Chiefs had a whole lot of shit to say about Bradbury. So like, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a competitive game. Bro, I'm excited. I'm not like nervous. Isn't the word. I'll be real. Like, I might be nervous against a game or for a game like the Niners because I feel like the number 1 seed is on the line, and I feel like the number 1 seed will be a big part of what happens in the playoffs. I'll feel confident about the Eagles getting to the Super Bowl regardless, but I'll feel like much more confident for the 1 seed. So it feels like a game against the Niners has like a different kind of stakes just given the standings. Bro, like at 8-1, a Monday night game against the Chiefs is just like the downside of that doesn't feel that crazy. It's not like if the Chiefs beat the Eagles, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, the Chiefs they have our number and we can't beat them. And just like I'm not gonna feel that way. I've seen what I've seen for us against the Chiefs, and based on what I've seen of both the teams this year, like I don't think that's a team that's like head and shoulders above us or anything. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. Again, there's different kinds of matchups that'll bring something like nerves to the table. It's not this one though. Chiefs lost to the Broncos too. So that's the thing, right? Like they had their loss against the Broncos, which is their equivalent of our loss to the Jets, right? We both had a stupid loss. They so happened to lose on the opening night of the season to Detroit. That's the main difference. But like, if you look at Kansas City, they have their complaints as well. They have their injuries, kind of like we do. Their fan base or like the national football community as a whole was probably going to look at both teams and say like, neither of you guys is all that dominant, which is kind of just this arbitrary expectation that people have of football teams or contending teams. But yeah, I think this might be another Super Bowl preview. I'm looking at it like Baltimore, Kansas City is the conversation in the AFC. Um, and then realistically, like it's probably Philly, San Francisco in the NFC. Even though I feel pretty good about Philadelphia, but yeah, we'll see. We need our aging secondary to rest so we can get that first seed. That is true. That is true. Welcoming to the stream, a proud Trinity football fan. Peter, what are you saying?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm good. So basically, right,
Yeah,
Nations League quarterfinals.
right,
It's important to me not because I care about the Nations League, but
right.
the four quarterfinal winners
Yeah.
automatically qualify for the Copa America in the summer.
Mm,
Four quarterfinal losers will play home and away playoffs in March to qualify for the Copa America.
okay.
So I want Trinidad to make it. That's
Right.
really what I care about.
Where is the Copa America?
In the States.
That's what I was figured.
That's why I'm
Okay,
so
that's dope.
invested here.
That's dope. That's a different layer of meaning.
Yeah, I don't actually give a shit about Nations League. But if we
Yeah.
could scam a two-legged tie victory against the US, that'd be amazing. But I don't expect to win this tie for a second.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's like Costa Rica and Canada, Mexico and like Panama or somebody. You know what? I'm making this up. Let me fucking check. I don't fucking know.
We're freestyling, people. We're freestyling.
Yeah, so let me look up the quarterfinal matchups. Yeah, so Costa Rica, Panama,
Yeah.
Mexico, Honduras, not Mexico, and then Jamaica and Canada.
Right. Okay.
So the four winners go to Copa America by default. The four losers get paired up and they play in March.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like so invested in this. But yeah, it we're winning at halftime. I think I said on one of your shows a couple weeks ago, I want to be 8-3 by the end of this homestand.
Yeah.
I'm still really annoyed about Sunday, but like the Ravens just like do that every once in a while.
Yep.
So like I don't think it's like the end of the world. I'm not gonna pretend to be fake sad that Joe Burrow fucked up his hand because there's a team that was handed divisions on a silver platter because our quarterback kept getting hurt. So it is what it is.
That's football.
Hate to cry about it, but I'm not trying to hear it.
That is football. That is like just a part of the sport.
Yeah, man.
Um.
So you know, it it is what it is. They were in last place before he got hurt, and they were losing. So
But also, right? You mentioned wanting to have a certain record. At the end of a certain stretch. You mentioned 8-3. It's like, but throw record to the side for a second. Look at the state of the division, right? You got Dorian Thompson Robinson, Kenny Pickett, and then potentially Jake Browning being the guys
that's
in the division.
kind of like how I feel about it too. So like you look at Pittsburgh's schedule, right?
Yeah,
You could say like, yeah, they're probably the clearest challenger in the division.
yeah,
I just don't know if they're gonna go to Cleveland and to Cincy and win both the games like that.
nah. Now again, if the two quarterbacks they're going up against just like suck, then maybe. But I feel like if they
Oh,
get
it's PJ Walker in Cleveland, by the way.
so I heard they're starting the young guy now.
I don't see why they would.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but because apparently they're looking at it like that first game he played, like he wasn't ready. They didn't know he was starting till like 45 minutes
Bro,
beforehand.
I guess. I mean, what the hell? Didn't I don't know, man. That
Yeah,
doesn't seem like
so he's getting the start this Sunday, the rookie.
okay.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, so starting him against the Ravens for his first start, clearly a bad idea, right? So you learn from your mistakes. What do? T.J.
Start
Watt,
him against the Steelers? I
T.J. Watt.
suppose. I mean, I'm gonna look at the standings and shit, man. I'm gonna look at the playoff standings. Yeah, I think it's crazy to die on this hill at this point in the season.
Yep,
They got about one game of wiggle room. The Texans are right there.
yep. Yo, the what's it called? The Texans have a respectable, like they have a schedule to where they're gonna have a record that makes it tough for
Hey,
some of these
dude,
teams.
dude. If the Jaguars didn't have so many fraudulent, actually no, Texans are one game behind.
The Texans also beat the Jags, so
I think I
like,
jokingly said this on one of our streams.
no, you did.
Texans AFC South push because they're not bad.
Yep.
I think I jokingly said that. I didn't actually think they'd be good, but I think that's hilarious. That they are good. But yeah, I mean, shit. Good division record wise, but everybody's quarterbacks seem to be falling apart. I think we have the Chargers on Sunday Night Football next week,
Yep.
and then we finally have our bye week. Finally,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! And then they play the Rams at home, go to Jacksonville and to San Fran,
Yeah.
and then at home against the Dolphins and the Steelers. Okay, so like just looking at it now, I expect to win this game. I expect to beat the Rams. And out of the Chargers, Jaguars, San Francisco, I expect to probably win two of those games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if three losses is going to be good enough for a one seed. Probably not.
Like
But
14-3.
or four losses. I mean,
So 13-4.
yeah,
Um,
probably
you know,
not.
you know what it is? I feel like it could be a case where like that doesn't get you sole possession. A tiebreaker would determine it. I think like
We
14
have a
gets
worse
you
conference
standalone.
record than KC though.
Yeah, because where Casey has two already, right?
They have two L's but one in conference. They're 5-1 in conference. We're only 4-3.
And like if they lose to the Eagles, that doesn't help your cause
I mean, it
necessarily.
does for the amount of losses, but like,
Yeah.
oh, they'd still be in first.
So the AFC opponents the Chiefs run into are the Raiders, the Bills, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Chargers. Um, God knows what happened to Burrow, and
And Raiders, baby,
it's all bad. It's all bad in Buffalo right now.
dude, I'm saying they have like fallen off a cliff.
Yep. Yeah, it's just progressively gotten worse. Like it's this the decline has been so consistent.
Yeah, and also
Um,
this Lamar touchdown. That was a good throw, though.
the one to Bateman.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, you're watching halftime highlights. I can't wait for you to see the one
I'm
to
not even
Aguilar.
watching halftime highlights. Some guys at the game and had caught video of the touchdown.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm not even watching highlights, dude.
You guys see this Aguilar touchdown though.
What happened?
So basically, two plays prior to it, Zay Flowers takes a wide receiver screen to the house. They call it back for holding on OBJ, which was just not holding, right? So that sucks.
Okay.
Two plays later, it's like OBJ and Aguilar are running kind of like slant beside each other almost. The pass is targeted to OBJ. It gets tipped by a DB into the air a little bit and just hits Aguilar right perfectly in stride. He catches it, takes it to the house.
Nice. We'll take it.
That's what it felt like, just perfect justice for the holding call. Now, mind you, in both cases, OBJ just like arbitrarily kind of just gets screwed, but like he made his play later on in the half.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like these last two drives for Baltimore have looked really good. Baltimore's first drive of the half and their last two drives of the half. Three really good drives, 3 touchdowns. It was just like this bizarre, weird place we were in the middle.
That happens though, like with the Ravens offense. They look like they
Yeah.
don't know how to play the sport.
Yeah.
And they look incredible.
Also, thank you, Joel. Important detail. Aguilar did a front flip into the end zone, and he landed it, like in terms of landing on his feet, but then he lost his balance and
Well, that would
landed
have
on
been
his
a
ass.
funny way to lose a player.
Yeah, on a touchdown, like off a tipped pass. That just would have been a chaotic play.
That would have been something.
Yep. But yeah, the Mark Andrews injury, that sucked. Obviously I saw what happened to his ankle. Whatever, right? Ankles get turned like
He
that.
looks like he got rolled up on. I saw that, but like my thing is, right? We play again in like 10 days, and then we have a
Yes.
bye after that.
Yeah.
I'm really not that concerned about it. Even if you can't play in 10 days, we don't play the Rams until like, what is it? Fucking December like 7th or some shit. December
Yes.
8th. So we'd end up having like 3 weeks off before he has to practice again. Like, hopefully he sorts something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully. And like the thing is, when I saw the ankle, it didn't seem that bad. But like watching it was weird because Andrews just looked really distressed. And then Lamar walks over, he's talking to him, and then Lamar gets pissed and throws his helmet to the ground. And I'm like, yo, wait, what did I miss? Like, is his like leg snapped in half?
Yeah, that's the
Um,
thing I didn't get either.
I mean, but then Andrews looked kind of fine walking off, and I was like, I don't know what happened there or what he said, but I'm glad he seems to not be doing too bad. Also, like I mentioned this before, like the Ravens, they have a lot of experience playing without Mark Andrews, and the opponents are like not the toughest opponents to be going against. The Chargers will beat themselves.
Yeah, I if you have 10 days to game plan, you would think they could come up with something.
Dude, the Chargers scored touchdowns on 5 straight drives, the first time in franchise history, and it happened in a loss.
Hey man, it happens.
Like that franchise is something else. But yeah, so Burrow is back on the bench, um, with a earpiece in and a beanie on. The coach said you're probably not going to see him for the rest of the game. I don't know the point of being vague to reporters at this point. Um, your quarterback looks like he's like in a preseason game
So
right
one
now.
of
That is,
the Ravens reporter for the Athletic tweeted Burrow walked back on the field, headed to the sideline. Browning's throwing, and Burrow gave him a fist bump. He's not throwing and has his hand in his front pocket.
yo. Yeah, no, he looks like it's a preseason game. He's got an earpiece in, a beanie on. He's talking to the third string quarterback. You can just go ahead and say he's not playing, coach.
Yeah. That sucks for them, but I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh, that's a shame. Fuck.
All
Fuck them,
right,
dude.
Jake Browning checking into the game. Yeah, you missed it, but basically when he's checked into the game, he just basically started throwing to Trenton Irwin the whole time. I think he had like 4 pass attempts, 2 checkdowns to Mixon, and then 2 pass attempts to Irwin. And I'm like, look at this backup quarterback throwing to his backup receiver homie. You know, I guess the practice squad chemistry kicking in. But
Hey,
Jamar
man,
Chase is getting no targets.
that's the gang right there.
Facts.
I wonder. I guess it's hard to tell what's actually wrong with his hand and how long that takes.
Yeah. Yep. Especially with how like secretive they've been about the whole thing, and then how like um again the play where it happened on, it's not like you see like his fingers bending a certain way, or like it's not like his hand got stepped on. It's just it was just like, a solid bump. It was contact, and then you just see him in extreme pain. So
Because
they're calling it a wrist injury, which I
I
also
don't
think
think
is kind of peculiar.
I don't think the Bengals have like a straightforward game left against a team playing for nothing.
Yeah, they don't.
Jesus.
Those next 2 games are really really tough. Like I kind of feel like they're guaranteed losses with Browning.
I don't know if Pittsburgh is a guaranteed loss, but the Jacksonville one is absolutely. Even that Colts game, dude. The Colts' next 2 games are home against Tampa and
Yeah,
at Tennessee. Are the
yeah,
Colts kind of dog shit? Yes, but they're five
yeah,
and five.
yeah, yeah. Like that's the thing. The Colts will. You actually have to beat the Colts, right? Like they're a team you have to
Yes,
show up and beat them
yes. Like the Colts could sneakily make a wild card push.
with fucking Minshew, man. Minshew mania, run it back, Act 2,
Hey, man,
bro.
it is what
Again,
it is.
3 targets for Trenton Irwin now since Browning checked into the game. 0 for Jamar Chase.
Hey man, gotta love it. I
Bro, it's just
respect it.
you love to see it. Keen observation, my guy Jared. I noticed Burrow's out the game. Yeah, that boy is very much out the game. Wrist injury knocked him out. This is Browning season.
It is what it is, man.
But yeah, so the thing is, like, next week, if it's Browning against Kenny Pickett, I look at it like, all right, whose defense is gonna win the game? And edge Pittsburgh for me. Oh shit, Browning. Oh, fair enough. I was not familiar with your game. I thought he was gonna get smoked right there.
I'm gonna watch this on Twitch. Of course, as soon as I tune in, it starts buffering. Are you fucking kidding me? These guys give an 11-point lead to a backup. They need to be sent to the CFL, dude.
100%. Second and 5. So another target to a random receiver. It's funny because like this is a real thing I've heard of in terms of like a backup quarterback. Like just naturally is gonna have no chemistry with the starting receivers. So his guys are gonna be like the third, fourth, fifth receiver, and this guy's showing up and just saying, you know what? I don't know shit about throwing a football to Jamar Chase. All my practice squad homies are about to eat right now. I really respect it.
Fuck the dog's not. They can bench him.
Yo. Third and 5.
What
Play
happened?
Clock running down.
Oh, delay a game. I was like, did they call the neutral zone thing? People were tweeting about delay of games earlier. That's got to be the most infuriating penalty as like a coaching staff.
Yep.
Like any dead ball shit is like bad.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. That one would just bother me.
I mean, yeah, like provided that the play got called at like the right time, that's basically the quarterback just like mishandling something that like is basically just like a part of their job, like the most basic part of their job as well.
That's going to be a flag. Yep. Pass interference. He threw it to Irwin again.
That's his guy.
Underthrown deep ball, automatic pass interference.
It's cash money. It's cash money. Do you think that is something they should like look at / what do you think the appropriate solution to something like that is?
Just seeing the flag thrown on plays like this.
So specifically underthrown
deep balls getting rewarded?
Yes.
I kind of hate it. But if you're just not going to call that, then people are going to bitch and cry. Ultimately, the NFL wants more points. They're never going to not call that.
So I think like what it is for me, I think something that I guess like I hate is an added layer of hatred is like if the receiver has to slow down because of the underthrown ball, but actually like is attempting to make a play on the ball and gets like hit, right? Cool. Like something's got to be done about that, right? But like when the receiver just actually is standing around and like the ball's nowhere close, like I just feel like that's an added layer to where like we should probably be able to do something for the fact that like the ball is so underthrown that the receiver isn't even in a spot to attempt to try to make a play on the ball.
The thing is, if people are underthrowing a deep ball, they're probably not like really setting their feet and stepping into it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think the solution is just let quarterbacks get smoked. Personally. Like stop this whole half a step and you got to wind down thing.
Yeah.
I think the solution is that, and then people will stop throwing that shit up.
Yeah.
And hoping for flags. That's 100% what Browning did.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, cool. You want to throw that? Then you're going to have to like pick up your chin strap off the turf.
Yeah. Like kind of just saying fuck it and throwing a deep ball is like not, it's kind of somewhere in the middle of the different like things to do as an offense, right? You have like your obviously the top of your list, the things you do pretty well. If those aren't working, fuck it, throw a deep
He
ball.
threw it to Irwin again.
I'm telling you, that's his guy. That's his guy. 3rd and 5. So this is the thing. His first throw was on his second throw was on a 3rd and 3. Trenton Irwin. Here, 3rd and 5. Trenton Irwin. That deep ball was 3rd down as well, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. This is his man. Oh man, divisional loss where Jamar Chase doesn't get targets. This post game media appearance is going to be sensational.
Jamar Chase might as well stop bitching.
He's going to do so much bitching after today.
I know, but like your quarterback's hurt. Like nobody cares that you didn't get the ball, Chief.
For real.
You know what I mean? Also, like in their defense, throwing it to Irwin like 8 times in a row got them points.
Yep. It got them down the field. I mean, like, it's not even the worst thing to look at it. Like, Irwin's got probably the softer matchup in coverage, and he's definitely got the familiarity with the quarterback. Like, if that's what your backup quarterback that has no experience in the league is comfortable with, it's not a bad way to ease him into playing football. Like, we can get jiggy with it afterwards.
Because like ultimately, right, the Bengals are trying to make the playoffs and hope Burrow can recover.
Yep.
So they're gonna need to win one of the next 2 games.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just pray for the best. Like
True.
you got to find some sort of like momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, but I mean, receivers like to cry. Like me telling Jamar Chase not to cry, who gives a fuck what I say? Like he's probably gonna do it.
For sure. I heard Fields is back Sunday. He is back. The Bajan era is over, but like, yeah, we'll see what happens with Fields. I feel like the way Carolina is playing, they Bears might be locked into that first overall pick.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
So the thing is like,
I hope not. I want them to get the Drake May pick, and then we get real uncomfortable about this decision.
Same. That's what I'm cheering for. My concern is that like the Patriots and Giants play each other, so there's gonna be a win there. One of those teams will be a 3-win team. And then the Cardinals will probably get another win, I think. Like they'll get one, just only one, but I do think they'll get to 3 wins. So now my question is like, can the Panthers get 2 more? And
Cardinals are gonna get more. The Cardinals are gonna get more than one, dude.
Let me see their schedule.
No, like they're not bad with an actual Kyler Murray on the team.
Yeah, so I saw that Houston are only 5-point home favorites against them. Like I know, like, let me see the schedule.
I'd probably take Arizona +5. I'm not gonna lie.
So Arizona has the most winnable games are basically like Bears, Rams, Steelers, Texans.
Where's the Steelers game? In Pittsburgh or in Arizona?
It's in Pittsburgh. December 3rd. Because I'm chalking up Niners, Eagles, and Seahawks as L's, even though the Seahawks is like definitely like they can beat the Seahawks because the Seahawks do dumb shit sometimes, but like it's the Week 18 game, so I'm just I don't know. I see the Seattle Seahawks. I think they probably get it done in Week 18, but like those other 4 games I mentioned, they can
definitely. Seahawks are in the playoffs well before Week 18, so they might just rest.
That's true, but I feel like when I looked at like kind of just how things could go for the season, like I feel like seeding will be definitely up for grabs at that point.
Nah, man, that at the bottom of that. Oh, what a save by the goalkeeper! Oh my goodness. The bottom of that NFC, at least when I looked last.
Oh, it's shit. I just think that like I would not be surprised if them and the Niners haven't settled that division by then.
Oh, that's what you mean. I'm thinking like I think they'll be in the playoffs because like
definitely 100,000,000%. Yeah,
the Vikings are comfortably 7th with Josh Dobbs, which is insane.
it's so funny, man.
But like none of those teams below them look like they're going to string together anything to get to double-digit wins, which is what it's going to take.
I agree. I don't think the Rams or Commanders will put up a fight. I think the 1 through set like the 7 teams making the playoffs will be locked up like pretty comfortably. It'll
Yeah, they
just be
might have
like
like playoff berths like locked in by like week 15.
yeah, like you might see. I'll be real. Depending on how it goes, you might see Philadelphia, Dallas, Detroit, and San Fran competing for the 1 seed in that last week. Like, which would be the absolute most dramatic scenario, but it's possible.
But like, I can't see the Commanders winning like 4 out of 5. The
Oh
Bucks,
hell
I
no.
can't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it
yeah.
either.
Hell no.
The
Yeah,
Falcons were 4-4, had some winnable games and fucking lost them both. Like the Falcons were the team.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be like, maybe. And it's funny as fuck that they're the one team that came out publicly and said we don't want Lamar Jackson, and now they're stuck between Heineke and Ritter.
They're actually in hell.
Hey man, look, I'm not saying Lamar was worth trading 2 firsts and having to sign a $300 million extension, but I think that's a better plan than whatever the fuck they have.
Yep. Also, a much better plan than Deshaun Watson, who they were also in for.
Yo, that we need to talk about. The Browns are good. The only thing I don't think is good for them is they are stuck to that contract.
Yeah,
He can't stay on the field. He had a good fourth quarter against the Ravens. He had a good second half against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Outside of that this season, I don't think he was like looking amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely not like worth the contract. He's not even really worth like 60% of that contract.
So 100%, right? Did you catch what they did in terms of restructuring the deal before this season?
No.
They basically went all in this year. They restructured his deal to be worth 19 mil against the cap this year. The trade-off is he's worth 63 against the cap for the remaining 3 years of the deal.
Jesus.
Bro, they're in hell. They're actually in hell.
Oh my God. 63M?
63 M's for 3 years in a row, and the cap's gonna go up, but not high enough for that to be decent.
That is terrifying.
Yes, they went. They made
all the penalties in the U.S. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't think that was a pen. I actually don't think that was a pen. I think he won the ball. Although, if we can get out of here losing 1-0, I'd still take that, by the way.
Yeah. Is it the U.S.'s first team?
Oh, that's not a pen. We won the ball. Yeah, the U.S. is at home first.
Okay.
Which is weird. It seems backwards. I don't think that's a pen. He plays the cross. Yeah, he catches him with his trailing leg, but he wins the ball there. Am I tripping? I don't think that's a penalty. Whatever. Ref's going over to look at something. Jesus Christ. This ref has the longest legs known to man. Yeah, he's going over to look at the VAR screen. I just don't think this is the pen at all. Nah, he wins the ball before there's any contact. Nah, you can't check us like that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
What minute are they in?
62nd.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna hold on to this, but don't open the floodgates on that.
Right.
I don't think that's a pen, man. That's so fucking soft. He wins the ball before there's any contact on McKennie. Yes, with his trailing leg on the slide, he catches McKennie's standing left foot. But that's just not a pen, I'm sorry. That's fucking soft.
Oh, that's tough. Lamar lost his footing, but a field goal here is more than enough.
Nah, man, touchdowns only.
I hear you, but
I'm just kidding, man.
Big bad Jake Browning on the other side. Oh shit! Oh, I thought that was third down, 3rd and 12. from the 15. Quarterback draw, Lamar. He's got the room. I lied. That's a hell of an angle by 27. And Lamar kind
Good.
of
No pen. No pen. Good. He
Trinidad
got the ball.
survives.
Thank you.
Trinidad survives.
That's a great challenge. Fuck you. McKenna, you diving bastard. You know good and goddamn well you weren't going to do shit with that anyways. All right. Tucker makes the field goal, 24-13. So we took like an 8-minute drive to score a field goal.
Yeah, man, gotta keep Jake Browning off the field, man.
Hey man, I'm all for shortening the game, I'll be honest. Like just in
Bro,
general.
yes, yes. We don't need to smoke this team. Like it's a win is a win. But yeah,
All right. Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
what's up?
I'm locked in to Nations League. The funny thing is we wouldn't have had to play the US if we didn't fucking bottle it in the last game against Curacao.
Damn,
We like
Curacao.
almost won our group, but we didn't
Sheesh.
because of that. We lost to fucking Curacao like 5-3 or some bullshit. Like I was so fucking mad, dude, watching that. You have no idea.
Yeah, that does not sound fun.
We could have been playing fucking Costa Rica, dude.
Right.
That being said, we're like a third of the way through this 180-minute tie. 0-0. So like I'll fucking take it. But shout out everybody in the chat. You know, run the likes up. It's dope that you got 8 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, they're kicking it with us. They've been kicking it through the like football coverage we're providing. This is in motion football for real, and the motion is going back and forth between Trinidad US and Ravens Bengals. It's been a good
Yeah,
time.
guys, like I know I haven't been here for a while, but I actually do support the Ravens. But like you guys got to understand, like this might be the best chance I ever get to see Trinidad in a major tournament, like an actual one that matters and not
Yeah.
Gold Cup. Like you guys have no idea. If Trinidad goes to the Copa America, I'm flying to whatever city they're playing in.
For you guys who might not be familiar with Peter, you need to understand how patriotic this guy is. This guy slanders people for have never, touched the soil in their homeland. That's a point of contention for him. He doesn't respect you if you haven't touched the soil in your homeland.
If you haven't breathed your homeland's air, I can't respect you. I'm sorry.
100%. This is the human being we're dealing with. So just like understand that this is serious stuff.
Oh yeah, this is real business. I'll be honest. You tell me Trinidad scams a 1-0, but the Ravens lose to Jake Browning, I'll take it. I'll take it, absolutely. You think I couldn't deal with being 7-4 after fucking week 11? I absolutely could.
Yeah.
It could be worse. Like it just could be worse.
Could be much worse.
In an ideal scenario for the Ravens, we get the 2 seed or something and get like 2 home playoff games maybe.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. That's a January problem and I just don't care that much yet.
Yeah, it feels like there's so many twists and turns though in the
That
NFL
too,
season.
like, yeah, we got punched in the gut last week, but like the Bengals also lost on a last-second field goal, like within minutes of us doing it. So like, I don't know.
You've also now in back-to-back games knocked out a division rival from Ohio's starting quarterback. So,
hey man,
the path is clear. The path is
Last year
clear.
we were playing with Tyler Huntley and trying to win, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that playoff game against the Bengals still fucking bothers me. I think I would go to the grave and that will bother me.
Yeah, that was an annoying game.
Not that we lost, but 100% how we ended up losing. That will bother me till
That Hubbard touchdown is still just like one of the most bizarre experiences I've had as a football fan.
dude.
Watching
I was actually thinking, like, are we gonna beat the Bengals super team with Tyler Huntley?
Yes.
This coaching staff might be goated.
Yep.
I was like, wait. I was like thinking, like, who even is the next game against? I don't even know. I was like, wait, you gonna play the Chiefs? Let's
With
fucking go, dude.
we have a Pro Bowl quarterback.
And then we fucking lost like that. I was like, bruh, what? That's how we lost?
Hey, I mean, now the Bengals, you gotta look at it like, can you make Jake Browning a Pro Bowl quarterback? And if you can't, what does that say about you?
Hey, man. Tyler Huntley being a Pro Bowler and Tyler Huntley throwing Odell Beckham his first touchdown catch of his Ravens career is going to be some trivia one day.
You facts, random legend,
Yep.
random like cult hero.
You know what? I'll say this.
Yeah,
Every team had to play their backup. I think we'd win
yeah,
the Super Bowl.
yeah. Cause like,
I actually do.
yeah.
I feel pretty confident saying that. And like I don't know if that counts for anything or like anybody cares.
Oh, bro, Peter, can you imagine Super Bowl, Las Vegas, Tyler Huntley against Marcus Mariota?
Dude, we would mop you. Are you kidding me?
Dog,
It would
that
be
would be
actually
something
no.
else.
I'm capping. It'd be like 12-9, but we would probably win.
Bro, Huntley would make more plays than Mariota. Mariota is super cooked, but like you look at the state of backup quarterbacks, it's really bad. Like
Yes,
Joshua Dobbs, like basically in about like 10 quarters of football, like this year, established that I'm actually a starter.
he's like actually like Black Peyton Manning, dude. It's incredible.
Dude, it's
Like
so
he left
crazy.
Arizona and got surrounded by like just a coaching staff that really wanted to win and had players to help them actually win,
Yep.
and just looks amazing. And then
Bro.
Jameis got inserted in a game down like 20 something to 3 and like scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Yep.
Like I I don't know, man. Like Joshua Dobbs is like a serious name now. And that's like just a crazy place to be. They threw it to
100%.
Chase. He made a great catch, but he was out of bounds.
Yeah. So I saw that throw and I was like, dog, he released that really, really weird. And I honestly think that ball was just, it spent way too much time in the air. Like the DBs were going to get there.
Yeah.
Had like, I think like they knew they had the sidelines there, but even if that's like farther away from the sidelines, a DB makes a play at that point.
So TNT update. We're in the 70th minute and it's still 0-0.
Hey, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. We will probably be there. Yeah, the football game has time left. We will be there.
My offer is still on the table if that's like at all. You know what? I'll take 2 Ravens losses in a row. Plus 7-5, baby. So actually 3 losses in a row.
These guys actively negotiating with the football gods like committee.
This is what has to happen. Can you imagine Trinidad and Tobago and Copa America with fucking Brazil and Argentina?
Uh,
And like to be clear, do I think we do shit in Copa America? Fuck no. My
besides the
only
point.
hope is that we get put in a group with like Jamaica or like Bolivia, and we can like win a game. Like preferably like our first group game, so I get to watch 2 games and get my hopes up about advancing.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Is Flawless Bayesian?
You think so? Yeah.
Are they holding up?
Are they Are they what?
Are they holding up in the tournament or are they out?
Nah, they're so the Nations League includes the 4 semifinalists. The quarterfinals include the semifinalists or the 4 top-ranked teams,
Yeah.
and the winners of the top 2 teams out of Group A and B of Group 1 and 2 of League A or whatever it is. I
Right.
think they're in League B. We like barely qualified to even be
Got it.
in the top league of the Nations League.
Yeah.
We're like the lowest ranked team in our group, but it's the stupid Swiss model, so you don't play everybody.
Oh yeah. I think it's the same model as the European Nations
Champions
League,
League
right?
is going to. Yeah. So you ended up in
Oh,
a situation where Trinidad almost won the group as like objectively the worst team in the group.
that's crazy.
So yeah, I don't think it engineers like having the best teams advance. But like I don't really give a shit in this case because this is fun.
I
And I
hear
enjoy
you.
it. But yeah, guys, there's your Nations League / Thursday Night Football update
TNT update.
for anyone who asked. Although, like, none of you probably did. Nah, man. The U.S. is trying to fucking die for Penza. I don't respect this.
Yeah, I saw my first like salty USMNT tweet on the timeline, and I was like, oh, it's going off.
Like, we've been
It's popping off.
Also, that challenge that reduced us to 10 players is criminal. Why is the
Right.
guy lunging in 70 yards from goal with everyone behind the ball? Who does that?
Yo, this Ravens running back is randomly good.
Keaton Mitchell?
Yes.
He was good in preseason.
Oh, I've seen enough. I haven't even seen that much, but I've seen
like
enough.
he's like I think he's the quickest player that we have.
Yo,
His dad was on our first Super Bowl team as like one of the backup DBs.
That's dope. That's dope. But also like that kind of makes sense.
But
like
no, yeah,
change.
Mitchell, no, like I think I watched like a preseason highlight.
Yeah.
Or like highlights of a preseason game.
Yeah.
And he was just like zooming all over the place. And me with my not like high level NFL scout mind was like, oh, that guy seems like he could be good.
Yeah.
And then he got plugged in the game against the Seahawks and was like incredible.
He cooked. It was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like he's good.
Bro,
and it's nice to have a change of pace back. Like you got Justice Hill for the pass protection. You got Gus Edwards to just fucking take the ball and run 4 yards.
Yeah, short yardage / bludgeon the other team's front seven.
I just feel like that's necessary, and I respect
100%.
the fuck out of Gus Edwards for being that guy for like 5 years now.
For that, not an easy thing in terms of like toll on the body, people.
Like it's weird because like all these other positions be getting hurt, and Gus Edwards just has to run into 280-pound men like 20 times a game.
Facts.
And he's always just okay.
Like his job description is run like face first into like immovable objects, and he's just like sick.
He's like, yeah, fuck it, here we go. I'm like, you know what? I got time for that. I got time for
that. Puts food on the table. Fuck it,
man. Like, I'll be honest, I don't really care what Gus Edwards' numbers are.
Yeah,
just like you can be on the team as long as you want. That's how I feel.
So that's the thing, right? Like,
all the like this play didn't count that Lamar just made, but like that was an amazing play.
Yeah.
Like that's not a touchdown, but like that was cool.
That was cool as fuck. It's a shame. That's 2 almost touchdowns for Zay today. He almost had his like I've arrived game.
It's kind of wild for not throwing that away earlier, but at the same time,
you live and die with that.
$4 billion.
Yeah, you live and die with that.
Empower them.
Yeah, you live and die with that. Like I'd rather that be the issue than like what's on the other side of that spectrum.
Yeah.
But yeah, you like so like the thing with Gus too is like aside from like the fact that like the vibes with Gus are pretty solid, like LeGarrette Blount was also a very useful part to Patriots Super Bowl teams and the Eagles Super Bowl team. Like that is a valuable piece in a football team to have a guy that you know is going to take the yards that your play call, your offensive line, and your scheme generate. Because that's what that running back is, right? Like if it generates 4 yards, I'm getting you 4.5.
Yo, are we down to 9 players currently? I think we are because there's somebody off the pitch getting treatment. Oh my god. This is incredible. We won the ball back. This is incredible. I fucking love this team.
Drama and TNT.
We are playing 11v9 in the Nations League quarterfinal. Real hoops.
This is real man hours.
The guy that just ran on the pitch looks like a mixture of Andros Townsend and Ravel Morrison, if that makes any sense.
Jeez.
It looks like a perfect blend of those two guys.
Jeez.
But yeah, so we have 10 again, so there we go. But yeah, that red card we got was criminal, man. There was no need. There was just no need at all.
I love it. I think that's like the fourth time it's come up in like the like half an hour you've been here or
This
whatever.
fucking
It's like
screwed us, dude. Like we were now we're like backs against the wall. We weren't backs against the wall with 11.
yeah,
Like they weren't generating all this pressure and like just completely able to like camp in our box. That's what bothers me.
yeah,
Oh my god. We made another save. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I'm just there's no I would kind of hear it if it was to save like to block a shot. I'd kind of get it. But
yeah.
bro, you're like 70 yards from goal. What are you doing?
That's not time and a place, man. Time and a place.
Like I think personally that's like unacceptable to do when you're not on a yellow, but when you're on a yellow
Yeah,
as a striker, as soon as we lose the ball, just fucking run back.
yeah.
Don't leave your feet to make a challenge. That's the dumbest shit.
Oh yeah.
But whatever. That's like one of those things where professionals make bad decisions and that ends up screwing everybody.
Yep.
There's no point in even being like, "Oh, you should have taken him off." No, no, just don't be an idiot.
You can't legislate for that. It's
No,
not
yeah,
like
it's like a
you
certain amount
managers,
of,
man.
I could see it. And now it's like, no. Oh, thank God that header's wide.
How
Thank
many
God.
minutes are left now?
We're in the 79th.
Oh, okay. Well, we're at the end of the third here. This game is over. So if you're watching this because you're watching Ravens Bengals, we'll be talking about a whole bunch of shit that's probably not like play by play of what's going on here. So just like hang tight because like a 14-point game where the Bengals are playing a backup quarterback is not necessarily a captivating one, but between the larger implications of what happened today, between the games on Sunday, between what's happening right now between Trinidad and the
Oh my
US,
God, we're in their half.
we have a
Oh
lot to
my
talk about.
goodness. We put the moves on Dest. We're in the box. No way. That was the craziest reverse. Like flip flap. That was nuts.
Dest got
That
smoked.
was crazy. Oh, we should have just shot it. That was so impressive. He actually did Dest crazy. But we got to run back though. Yeah, I think the return leg's on Monday. I might leave work early.
That's amazing. That's
I might
amazing.
do it. I think I'm gonna do it because I think it's at like 4 o'clock. I don't get off till 4:30.
Ah,
I'm
fuck it.
not missing the first half. Fuck that.
I'm with you.
Oh my God, we gave it away at the top of our box. No. Okay, shots blocked. Foul ref. Thank you. These fucking guys try and play like triangles when we're 10v11. What are we doing? Just get
This is
into the
not the
hoopers and get out of the way.
for real. This is not the time for that
No.
triangle bullshit. This is not the time for trigonometry.
The last time we played the US, we lost 6-0.
Damn.
Like for like reference. And that last time was in the Gold Cup last summer. So
Hey, bro,
very
he's not watching USMNT. He's watching TNT.
no. Yeah, exactly. I don't support like guys. I don't support. Oh, they scored. Fuck. God damn it.
Damn, pain. I guess he'll just.
Bastard.
I
Hey
mean,
Joel, you just been a hater the whole time. It's fine though. Saying the Jags are the team to watch and the Ravens are gonna choke. I don't know why the Jaguars would be the team to watch, but fair enough.
who do you think is the worst matchup for the Ravens in the playoffs?
Like out of all the teams or the teams in the AFC?
AFC.
I'm trying to think. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like we could snuff everybody. Even the Chiefs.
The Chiefs
So,
are
like,
in this weird space where like I feel like they can
probably the Chiefs,
fuck around
I
and
guess.
lose to a lot of teams. So I said it was the Chiefs earlier on the stream. Um, yeah, I think that's the one. But like again, like the Ravens are the kind of team that they're built to have a chance against like basically everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. I just with the way that we can shorten the game, and if our corners and our secondary are healthy, the way that they can shrink the field and just make it into like a bar fight,
Yeah.
I kind of like the ability to do that against all of these teams. Like the teams that would worry me are teams with physical fronts and teams that also have consistent run games. So like the Eagles, but like I feel like if it came down to it and it was Ravens Chiefs for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I actually think the Ravens can take a look at what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl, the stuff that worked, and kind of run a lot of those playbooks. Like aside from like 50-yard touchdown to AJ Brown, which like could be somebody else, but like most of the other shit the Eagles did, the Ravens can do.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm more worried about like health and availability.
Yeah,
Like Marlon Humphrey, Mark Andrews are not playing.
that's
I
true.
would
That's
like
true.
to get them on the field because like Rock Sin is a backup corner for a reason.
Yeah,
You know, Brandon
yeah,
Stevens, good number two. It's nice to have Marcus Williams back there with Geno Stone, but
yeah,
yeah, just get the main guys like kind of on the field and see what happens.
yeah. Like I'm at a place where I feel like I feel great about Baltimore against basically like the AFC East.
Hmm.
Um, I think inevitably, if they play a healthy Cincinnati, it's just going to be a physical, close game. But also, I feel like they have a good thing going defensively against Cincinnati, and we saw
Dude, we've
like,
had this for years.
yeah. So like, that's the thing. Like, if they lose against Cincinnati in the playoff, it'll just be in the playoffs. It'll be a close game where just some unfortunate shit happens, right? Like, which is
Yeah,
if that's your losing situation, like you're not in a bad place. And then against the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars are in a place where like I almost think that they're leaning on their running back because I don't think their passing game has evolved. So I just look at it like if their running back can like carry them home, great. If not, they're more or less just like the same team as last year, which is like plucky underdogs that have a puncher's chance against anybody. And
that
then
was a
like
great play by Kyle Hamilton.
Kansas City's just Kansas City. I'm about to see this 3rd and 8 right now.
That was a great play. That's a good throw, actually.
Bro, yeah, I mean Hamilton there, like he stuck with the play like about good 2 seconds after a bunch of guys would quit.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not like I'm honestly not worried about. Oh, they scored again. It's tie over. Oh well, we tried.
Damn. So now it's the what you said. There's a qualifying round now that they'll have to
There's
play in.
a yeah, so they'll play like a qualifying playoff against one of the other quarterfinal losers.
Uh, Well, Baltimore will get this ball back. Devin Duvernay fielded the punt successfully. Almost didn't, I feel, but he did. And yeah,
Elected strike. Damn. Yeah, man, that red card fucking killed us.
what was I gonna ask? Let me see the schedule for next week's Thursday game because I feel like we're due for a predict the season. Oh, Niners Seahawks on Thanksgiving, but like people are probably gonna be busy on Thanksgiving.
On the evening of Thanksgiving, you know what we could do?
What?
Are you doing anything on the Friday?
Um, in the evening, I'm not.
Yeah, let's just like go live and like do a stream.
Dope. We can do a predict the season stream because we're getting around to the time where like it's not that hard and like the end of the year isn't just like this random thing anymore. We can
Yeah.
kind of like legislate for some trends and how things are gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I messed around and predicted the whole season like I think like 5 or 6 days ago, and like the AFC just inevitably ends up being this clusterfuck of like 10, 11, 12 win teams. And the thing that'll have that not be the case is if somebody like kind of just goes crazy winning a bunch of their matchups because they all play each other. All the top
Yeah.
teams in the AFC play each other in the
I
last
think
month.
the only thing that doesn't happen is Ravens Chiefs.
Probably, but like
So like
everybody
we
else
play the
played.
Dolphins, we play the Jaguars. Obviously, the Bengals, Steelers, Browns are all in the division.
Yeah.
Played the Texans already. Um, Trying to think. Played the Colts. Like, yeah, it's it's interesting.
Yep. So it's like if a team just happens to smoke all their competitors in that moment, like yeah, the one seed is theirs, and that'll be like some epic shit, right? Or if a team just decides that they're just gonna just suck down the stretch and just like lose a bunch of games, then yeah, then they're out of it. But like assuming that just the competitive teams kind of just are competitive with each other, like tiebreakers will decide some pretty meaningful shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, Leon, I got you. Okay, I got you. I'm literally gonna go through and find the names in my phone.
I'll be honest, guys. I don't think Philly cheesesteaks are that good as like a food item in general, like relative
Uh,
to other famous food items.
I hear you.
It's
So the
3
thing
nil
is,
and we are out. That's disappointing.
damn. So this is the thing, right? So my thing on Philly cheesesteaks is like of the different ones I've tried in Philly, I actually only liked two places out of like probably 7 or 8 over the years. And like the hit rate there isn't even like favorites versus others. It's I actually did not enjoy eating a lot of them, right? The two that
Yeah,
I enjoyed were good, right? But like the downside on a Philly cheesesteak is crazy. Like that it can be a very bad like meal.
I just think it's a very low floor type of food.
Yup. Yup. If the steak is dry or the bread is like just mid, bro, it can actually get disgusting.
I agree.
It's like because like there's other things like pizza and wings. Like I think the floor is a lot higher there as far as like signature foods go. And then like
Oh
I think quietly like sandwiches are very like just like normal sandwiches in terms of like um fuck, like not just as something like a cheesesteak where there's literally one thing in it. Like you're pretty good in most situations. Like you'll put enough in the sandwich where like you'll be able to figure it out. But the Philly
yeah,
cheesesteak relies way too much on steak, which is like the quality of ingredients like is super just like hit and miss nowadays as well.
I agree.
So I put it in the chat, Leon. Woodrow's is my spot. They also have a Cuban sandwich that's really good as well. Um, but yeah, the other places I don't really know if. Let me see. There might be one other spot. But also, like Leon, are you going? Because you said you live in Montreal. If you're in the states for Thanksgiving, also just like eat other stuff. Because like usually when I'm in the states, like it's not even like specific places, but like I'll go and eat Shake Shack just because I can't out here and
Hmm.
like shit like that. Like just like normal basic food items, like even
Dude,
just
the
like regular
Warriors are
fast food.
getting smoked.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Thunder. They're down 19.
Let me see this lineup. Are the Warriors like healthy?
They're without Steph and Draymond because Draymond likes to choke people.
Yeah, Draymond's a funny guy, man. So like I made the comment in passing as a joke, like probably a year and a half ago. I was like, I'm sure sometimes on the court he's thinking, oh, this would be a great pod moment. Or like, like this would be great content. But like
Yeah,
you watch some shit like that, and like in the back of my mind, I'm sure like at some point in mid headlock, he was thinking like, this is one whole pod. This pod's gonna do numbers. I don't have to talk about shit basketball related. I don't have to talk about IBM and Apple and make all these weird comparisons. Like, I can just talk about
Yeah,
this.
dude. The Prime Video account on Twitch has 108,000 live viewers right now.
Yep, that's NFL does stupid numbers, man.
I feel bad for anybody tuning in and like wanting to really be entertained by this game.
It's just like death taxes and the NFL having shitty primetime games, regardless of how good they seem to be.
Yeah. Yo, Cleveland are 1-point favorites over Pittsburgh this week.
Yeah, yep. They're at home too, right?
Yes.
So that's the thing. Like the Dorian Thompson Robinson effect. They're looking at it like fuck on a neutral field, Pittsburgh by 2. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, Peter, but like the over under on that is 32.5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
32.5, and I kind of like the under.
I'd take the over, man.
Man, it's a battle of defenses. Yeah, but yeah, Woodrow's that's the one.
Hey, man. The Broncos beat the Vikings. They're low key back in the playoff race.
So this is the thing. Quietly, that matchup is actually kind of decent, not in terms of like level of football, but in terms of like two teams that are playing that are in a good place technically, who actually kind of have a lot on the line. You're actually going to see a competitive game probably.
Because the
like,
Broncos the week after play Cleveland.
Yep. Broncos coming off back-to-back wins against the Bills and the Chiefs, which is like, how?
Wait, no, 3 wins in a row, dude. They beat the Packers before that.
Oh, true. 3 wins in a row. And obviously Minnesota's in a good place as well. Both those teams, like, you could, like, obviously Denver needs the game a lot more, but both teams, like, it's a big game for both of them. And, like, it's one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if one of those, like, that's the primetime game that everyone thinks is just going to be dog shit that actually ends up being, like, compelling, especially in the second half.
Dude, I could see the Vikings getting like 10 wins on this dog shit season.
Dude, 100%. Their schedule, like, when you get to play the Bears and the Packers, bro, wins are in your future. And they play the Raiders. And, like, here's the thing, right? They played the Lions twice in the last 3 weeks of the year. I kind of have a hard time imagining the Lions are going to sweep them.
I also like don't know if the Lions are going to really be sitting there and like desperate to win both of those games.
Yeah, it depends, but like I feel like hold on, let me see the Lions schedule.
Okay, Browning. Oh, you got sacked anyways. Trying to make something
Bro,
happen.
I think so. The Lions' last 3 games of the year are Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota. I feel like at that point, like those games will be big for them because of the 1 seed. Because I think they'll get enough wins. Their schedule is terrible, man. I mean, like easy as hell. Oh my God, Browning, don't get yourself killed.
I don't know, man. Actually, yeah, probably. Fuck, the Lions could just get wins handed to them.
Bro,
Jesus
Bears, Packers, right? Saints, whatever, right? You're in New Orleans, whatever. Fuck, I don't know. The defense might do something. Bears, then Broncos. Cool. Broncos, respectable team now. But like, let's say worst case scenario, like I can't see them losing to the Saints and the Broncos. Like,
yeah,
if they go 1-1 there, they're going into those last 3 games at what, like 11-3? Like,
yeah.
that's 1 seed contention unless Philly just runs the table, which I don't think is going to happen. So that's the thing. The Lions will be making a 1 seed push against Minnesota, Dallas, and Minnesota, where I actually think they'll go 1-2 during that stretch.
Fuck it.
Yeah. So that puts them at 12-5 at the end of the year.
Hey, man, we're going to have to find Joe Burrow's record against Lamar Jackson. I'm counting this game. I don't give a fuck. That nigga had 10 points and a half. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Them niggas is suckers. Fuck them.
So I'm looking at it now, right? He's 3-3 versus the Ravens in his career, and at least 2 of them were against Huntley, right?
Yeah, no, all three, like, last year were against Huntley, dude.
So
One
all
had to get
3.
against Josh Johnson. I don't know.
So I think it's showing here that he played 2 games against the the Ravens last year. So he played the playoff game and then the game in October. Fuck, where is it? Assuming Lamar played in the other games, it looks like he's 2-2 versus Lamar. Or I mean 2-3 now.
What other games?
So you got 2020 in October, 2021 in October, and then 2021 December, like Boxing Day. And then
No,
there's the 2 matchups
didn't play
last
in
year.
that one.
He didn't play? Okay, so
The
then
one where this had like 500 million yards or whatever.
yeah, 525.
Yeah, no, he didn't play in that one. That was Josh Johnson. That was a Josh Johnson game.
All right. So yeah. So it looks like Burrow's 1-3 then.
Yeah, man, fuck that guy. Hey, man, Warriors Twitter is so funny. Why am I seeing people say fire Steve Kerr in October?
I feel like that's something that's just like when that goes away, it still sticks with people and they're looking for a reason to say it.
I just don't. Like, dude, Steph is hurt and Draymond went and got himself suspended for 5 games.
Yep.
What are they supposed to do? Also, like, Steve Kerr's in the last year of his contract, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Something like that. Like, why are they going to just fire him?
I was gonna ask. Fuck, what was I gonna ask? Did you think the Draymond suspension was gonna be 5 games?
Yes?
I kind of thought it was gonna be more.
No, because more, then you're getting the players union involved and, like, saying, like, hey, dude, that's OD. But, like, he didn't actually hurt anybody, but, like, that's kind of like the stop doing bullshit nigga suspension.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess the union point's a good point, and then also the point of like precedent is also
Yeah.
like a thing. I feel like the league would be like internally a lot more fed up with him than 5 games, but like yeah, like, you can't set a precedent.
Dude, next thing he does, he's probably going to get, like, 8 or 9.
But here's the thing, right? Like, okay, how many things does he have to do before he gets 15?
Oh, Odell catch. Odell run. Oh, Odell got tackled.
Damn.
How many things he has to do before he gets 15? I don't know.
Yeah.
They called. There's a flag. Never mind. This might not count.
That's like a cool 3 times that this has happened to Odell.
No, something on them. Okay, declined. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But yeah, how many things does he have to do to catch a 15-game suspension? Because I feel like not the next thing, but the thing after that, he's getting 15.
I just don't know what it is with Draymond and just like not taking accountability for shit. Like you would think when your team is like started like mad to the season,
yeah,
and their best players hurt, you're not going to go and get yourself suspended. Odell is walking off the field holding his shoulder, so that's not good. But we also play in like 10 days, so I don't know how much I care about that right now.
Yeah. That game's also against the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Chargers.
That's also true.
Are there any games this weekend that are worth talking about? We talked about just Browns Steelers being like a thing. 1 point favorites for the Browns, but the over-under is crazy. Um, Jets Bills. I think for the Bills to have such a kind of a high stakes game offensively with a random offensive coordinator against the Jets defense that they struggled against in Week 1, um, I think the stage is kind of set for things to just get worse.
Bills, they can't lose that one, man. Surely not.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a surely not situation, but then like, what if not? Like what
Yeah,
if?
but like it's Zach Wilson. The Bills haven't scored a touchdown. The Jets haven't scored a touchdown in like 30 something drives or something.
Yeah, I mean, not a better remedy for something like that than 3 Josh Allen turnovers.
Yeah, but like they were getting turnovers last week and they still couldn't score because they're dog
That
shit.
is true. That is true. So that's but just like I think about it and I'm like, imagine this a week down the road, the Jets have swept the Bills. The Bills offense looked worse with the
Uh-huh.
switch. And the Bills are then 5-6 going into Philadelphia, who might be off a loss and pissed off, or off a win against Kansas City and feeling great. Um, that sounds like hell. So like, it's definitely a thing where like, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win game for Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Like, like that situation will like it's began to implode. That's full implosion point if that's the situation they're in.
Oh, we scored. Gus Edwards scored.
Gus Edwards randomly cash money in fantasy football.
Oh hell yeah, brother. Jamar Chase looking all sad on the bench.
Some things never change. Some things never change. Bengals 5-5, potentially having to play against the Steelers pass rush with a backup quarterback next week. Oh man, it's all bad for them.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, next Thursday is the Thanksgiving slate. Detroit, Green Bay. That is absolutely terrible. Washington, Dallas. No, thank you. San Francisco, Seattle. Respectable matchup, but at the same time, it's Geno Smith against Brock Purdy. Like, it's cool for like the football fans, but I don't think that's gonna move like anybody that's not a sicko. So NFL doing NFL things with these opportunities to put good teams on. Um, Ravens Chargers Sunday night, so that'll definitely be a live stream. Sunday Night Football, Ravens Chargers, not this upcoming Sunday, but the Sunday afterwards. Obviously, the Ravens are
Yeah.
playing right now.
Outside chance
Um,
I'll be there.
the Monday night game that next week is Bears Vikings. Yikes.
And
Yeah, we got Eagles Bills and like hold tight Buffalo. Randomly, this year is the first year that they're doing a Black Friday game. I think they thought that they were cooking something with Dolphins Jets, but then Zach Wilson happened.
uh-huh.
But yeah, they have a midday Friday game, 3 p.m. Eastern time on a Friday. Dolphins Jets. Yes, Jua. A game 3 p.m. on a weekday. It's a Black Friday game.
Yeah.
It's a thing now. From this point going forward, there will be the 3 games on Thursday and now 1 game on a Friday. Which again, like people have that day off in the States, so like their audience is going to be available to watch the game, and they're sickos enough to watch the game, and they thought they were going to show the masses Tua against Aaron Rodgers, but so they're going to try to make that game a showcase game. But again, unfortunately, Zach Wilson happened. There's so many of these Jets primetime games that Zach Wilson isn't or had to be the guy who played instead of Aaron Rodgers for it. That being said, Aaron Rodgers trying to come back 3 months after Achilles surgery. What a guy.
Hey, that's all cat, man. They're gonna be like 4-10 by then. Who gives a shit?
For real. But
yeah, Black Friday is like a pretty well established like actual like holiday and like day off for people.
Yeah.
So think about it as like 3 p.m. on like a Saturday. Essentially, like there's always been college football games the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think. Well, Texas doesn't play Texas A&M anymore, but that used to be a game on the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
I'm looking at it now. There is a game on Thanksgiving itself. Ole Miss plays Mississippi State. That's the Egg Bowl, baby. There's a bunch of Black Friday games. I'm tripping. TCU, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas Tech, and Texas. Jesus Christ. They don't give a fuck. Oregon State, Oregon? Black Friday night? Oh my God. I'm not going to watch any of this. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm interested.
But yeah, this game is winding down again. Like, we're just hanging out to see this game end. But if you guys have any other questions about the games this upcoming Sunday, even the games the Sunday after that, any just general football conversations you guys might want to have, feel free to put that in the chat. 11 people watching live still. Shout out to everybody that's still tapped in with us.
Third and 18. What happened?
What's that?
What happened to them?
Who?
3rd and 18. Oh my God, they almost got a first down running a drop play.
Dude, Kyle Van Noy is randomly an elite pass rusher off the couch.
Yo, Kyle Van Noy has like 6 sacks this year and joined in like week 4.
Bro, he was just casually on the Pat McAfee show in like week 5, and then just randomly it has 6 sacks already. It's ridiculous.
Let's go, baby. That's really good right there.
Facts.
On 4th down. I respect that.
So that's the thing. I mean, when you can just casually acquire that kind of pass rush midseason, it really changes what your team looks like. So I think they added Jadeveon Clowney in training camp, right?
Yes.
Just casually adding Clowney and Van Noy.
Like a week before the season.
Yeah. Nah, those are big additions for sure. Big additions. 4th and 3. Browning steps back, escapes, runs for like 20 yards. Sheesh. But yeah, feel free to get that in the chat, people. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you appreciate the content we're doing, the content is free, but you can, you know what I'm saying, pay your rent in the form of likes and subscriptions. 2 very important forms of engagement for the growth of your YouTube channel. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow this to as big as we can possibly grow it. Unfortunately, games like this are what we have to watch on prime time. But
hey man,
facts. But we'll have all kinds of other content coming up soon, off season or whatnot. Jake Browning and throwing to random white backup receivers. It's lit.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, bro, this is actually a real thing. It's so funny. Murtaza just has a way of having these things happen. So shout out to him, man.
Oh, he questioned the Josh Sweat trade?
No, not so different Sweat, but basically he was watching an Eagles game and he was like, "Is Josh Sweat good?" Yeah, he's like, "Is Josh Sweat good?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, I don't know. And then just ever since, like, Josh Sweat, like, he now like leads. He's tied for the lead in pressures in the league. He's like top 10 in sacks and shit. So it's just like, That's just what Murtaza does.
Yeah, Murtaza's a funny guy, man. Big up to him. Logan Wilson injured 3 guys today.
Who?
Logan Wilson, the Bengals linebacker, Lamar, Andrews, and Odell.
Damn. Yeah, investigate right now, bro. That sounds like some bounty gate shit.
Man, like, whatever, but Odell took his pads off and everything. Although, like, I guess he wouldn't actually go back in, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah. No, it's long past that. This has devolved into a preseason game. Although randomly Kyle Hamilton's still playing. But yeah, I guess so. So Greg Lewis is your running backs coach?
I guess. Is he black?
Yeah. Nah, so he's a former Eagles receiver. He was one of our receivers like during the like dead times between Terrell Owens and Deshaun Jackson. But like obviously I probably was there when Harbaugh was there. But like, yeah, I just saw he was a running backs coach, and I'm like, damn, all right, fair enough. He was a receiver. But again, they're getting a lot out of those Ravens running backs.
Hey, man.
So
we have an all-black quarterback room, too.
Oh, yeah. First one in history.
Yeah, I don't know who our emergency quarterback is, but I have a bad feeling he's white. That's why they didn't announce it.
But also, that's why.
Hey, Jamar Chase got his touchdown, man.
Who got his touchdown?
Jamar Chase.
I mean, maybe he'll chill.
They gave him the touchdown to shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, for people that didn't watch the game, the score just got a little bit more respectable. But yeah, this game's over, people. The Ravens kneel downs are not something we're gonna stick around for. We're gonna call the stream right here. This was real. It was fun. We had a good time. We'll be back later. I don't know if I'll be back on Sunday. I don't think any of the games move me like that. I might be here on Monday. I don't know.
Let's do a stream on the Twitch for Sarcasm City on Monday because I'm done with my next league.
Dope. All right, so we'll do that.
I can run the stream if I log into StreamYard. I don't need like this OBS nonsense.
Lit. We'll do that. So people, stay tuned. Stream's coming. Hopefully we don't have to watch a quarterback like Jake Browning again, but it's the NFL, so we probably will. On your way out, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And tap in with us because we will be back. Peace.